Good morning. So I would like to talk to you guys about soil building and free chicken food. They go hand in hand. So I haven't been able to use this bed in 3 years, and you cannot order soil, any kind of garden soil. I tried from 2 companies in the last, 2 years ago and the year before, from 2 different companies, and I got soil with just graze on. It could not grow anything in it. Total waste of money. Lost a lot of money as usual. Nothing new on this farm. So I haven't been able to get any new soil, so I thought I would work this winter on this soil and work really hard to build the soil back up. Of course, it has settled and pulled down some of the plastic, so I do need to kind of push down some more plastic here and kind of have it come up, because if not, the Bermuda grass will actually grow up through there. So I was throwing some chicken manure down. I decided to go ahead and keep this cart. I am going to, however, try to purchase that big gorilla cart, because I believe the bigger one that sits up higher and has a much bigger bucket, even if I filled it just a little bit, that is going to work so much better for me, transferring the soil out of the old beds into the new beds. So let me get back to what I wanted to show you. While I was doing so, I noticed these little red pellet things. They look like little Tic Tacs. This, my friends, is black soldier fly larvae. And the flies have been really bad this year. And it looks like it's all throughout this chicken manure after I clean the chicken coop. I threw it in here and I didn't get to it for a few days. I believe they laid the eggs, because that's pretty fresh. So what I'm going to do, I know this kind of sounds gross, but I'm going to keep a little bit of this. Any little scoops I find with a lot of those little pellets. Look how many there are in that one. And some of them have hatched. So, you see those little larvae? They get a little bit bigger, guys. And guess what? That is your chicken food. If you all have purchased, I know they're great companies, and they have the black soldier fly larvae and the mealworms and such, but they're very expensive. And when you have a lot of chickens, such as I, and many of you have far more than I do, look at all that, then this gives you the opportunity to raise your own. Oh yeah, there's a bunch in here. So the only drawback to doing this is, you can see the larvae and all. You have to stay on top of it. That's the drawback. Because if you do not stay on top of it, you will hatch out a truckload of more flies, which we sure don't need. So what I'm going to do is get all that into this bucket or 2 buckets. These are food grade buckets. And I'm going to put a mesh, some screening. We've got some screening. And then some hardware cloth over the top. And then probably some rocks to put it down. That way they can still get air. They won't just cook. Even though I don't know a lot, I know that I do normally just feed the chickens this stuff. But I don't want to keep throwing this stuff back in the chicken coop. So I'm going to raise the mealworms, and then I'll kind of just sift them out. And then I can come back and use the poop after I get all that larvae out. So I'm not real sure how much of this I threw over there. I guess we need to check. I don't want to walk around that because of the snakes, because this is the area of the farm I haven't used, and nature had taken it back over. And so I'm not 100% sure how much of that larvae got tossed over here. I don't see any, but that's not to say that the birds, you know, the crows come over here and they dig and they peck at that stuff. Oh, I see one right there. Oh, there's a few right in here. There's one, there's one. So I'll just go ahead and scoop that back up. Looks like another one right there. Yeah, I can wash my hands. I'm a farm girl. It ain't gonna kill me. I see another one right there. So what I'm gonna do is get those scooped back up, because I really don't want more flies, you guys. The only alternative I can do, if I don't want to scoop them back up, when the that almost looks like more, but when they start moving around and hatch out, I can bring the chickens over here and put a couple chickens in here and let them scratch and peck through it. That way they can clean it up nicely and do some of the work for me. They can turn the soil really well. Actually, I'll probably do a little bit of that for what's already over there. But I thought this is a really good resource, and if you're not aware or paying attention, there's a lot of flies. I mean, a lot. And I purchased those Fly Master trap things on Amazon. Those are crap. I hung them up. The plastic on it is real thin, and the winds ripped them up, and the wildlife has actually got into it, even though I hung it high. Every one of the bags has been ripped open, and I don't really see a lot of flies in them. See some, but not a lot. So that wasn't the purpose of buying them. That was probably, I think they were $29 and something. Waste of money. I'm very disappointed. I can't stand the flies. You know, we can't really afford to have a lot of flies. They're nasty. If you have any other animals, they can strike your animals, and they can lay eggs on your animals, and it can be very brutal. So I think what I'm going to do is let that sit, and I actually am going to just go ahead and scoop out the rest into here. I'll save a little bit in this bucket so I can raise some. And then as this hatches in the next few days, I'll just keep bringing the chickens over here and letting them turn this dirt and manure and get all that larvae out. And then that will leave that manure in here. I think that's what I'm going to do. But at least I have some down in here for future. But anyway, I wanted to bring y'all out to show you that, because I kind of stopped what I was doing yesterday so that I could do a video. I have so much to do. I'm like trying to process some of the food. Like, well, I was gifted 2 boxes of food. There was a lot of beets. I want to pickle some beets. I got some cucumbers, not enough to make pickles. So I really wanted to build some more of these beds right here and plant some fall cucumbers so I can make some pickles. But we got a lot of changes on the farm. We got a lot to do during the winter time. I'm going to be adding a lot of natural stuff here, such as some leaves. I'm not going to do the cardboard in this. I am putting cardboard on the bottoms of the beds. This already has a ton of cardboard, which should be pretty broke down by now. But at least I can start putting the manure in here, let the chickens turn it. They can turn it really well, and they could get it ready for next spring. And then I can start using these beds again, because these beds are really nice. The idea and the plan was right before the scamdemic hit was to do this on all the rows, but you're talking a lot of money, guys. And these are really high up, which is going to take a lot of resources to fill them. So we're going to stop with these 2 right here, and we're just going to do other things on this farm. But anyway, I still haven't got this done. I got so much to do, y'all have no idea. So my husband said to rake all that trash up, and then he'll bring the tractor up here. So probably this weekend we'll get that done. I saw some clouds earlier. I was hoping for rain, but I think we're going into the drought season. But as you can tell, Connie and I chopped a lot of the chives. We did a 5-gallon bucket, and I have got those chopped up, almost all of them, but the very bottom of the bucket, and putting them in the solar food dehydrator, dehydrating those. I've got some tomatoes to do. I will bring you back to show you how to ferment the tomatoes to collect seeds, how I did it to keep from cross-pollination and all that. So anyway, stay tuned, guys. Busy time on the farm. Talk to you later. Okay, I didn't mean to bring you back for more. If you're squeamish, this is not your video, but look, there's a huge pocket of the larvae, little egg things. It looks like it's all the way through here. So what I've done is go ahead and push this plastic up a little bit and started throwing the manure in here, and you can see the eggs throughout all of this. So what I'll do is I'll bring the chickens up here every day, let them scratch and peck through this, clean it up, and they can have all the larvae they want, long as we don't miss any larvae and it gets away. Yeah, I do not want flies, but I know it gets pretty big. They get about maybe that big, and they got kind of a rigid back on them. But anyway, I just thought I'd show y'all. There's a lot in here, so this is a lot of free chicken food. Okay, we will talk to you later. Take care.